Hello, Stargazers. Welcome in. Sorry, just needed to check on something real quick. I think we should be good here. Hello, Roan. How's everything going? Welcome in, welcome in. Let me make sure everything is all set up. I lost track of time making the thumbnail again, but I hope it's a good thumbnail. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Ba-ba-ba-ba. There we go. Want to make sure everything is all set up here. Okay. We should be good on both. How's everything going, Ron? Hope you are doing well today. Back to demi-human today? Yeah, I figured it was good for animal stuff, but just going back to something a little simpler today. Things are going. I am having a time today. I am elbow deep in the guts of a novel, fixing it up and mixing it around. That sounds intense. What does that what does that entail? Like, I can't imagine how you have to fix up and mix around text, because, like, when I'm trying to get ideas of things, I basically need, like, a note card set up, and I have to, like, cut things up and literally move things around in physical space. I don't know how you would do that. Turn the novel into confetti and tape it back together. There you go. Also, Ocarina, hello, welcome in, welcome in. You have a nice, pretty icon today. I like seeing that. And hello, Kaku, welcome in. Alright, I think we should be good here. Let me just get everything all set. Alrighty. Made a mistake. I'm a planner when I write, but I kind of wrote 600. I kind of wrote 60,000 by the seat of my pants because I know the characters so well, and that was a mistake. Wait, if you know the characters so well, then I don't know much about writing. I'm personally not a writer. I really appreciate people who do it. But how do you write 60,000 words without knowing the direction it's gonna go? I don't quite get that. I plan to start writing within a month, so I need to make progress, including icons. Oh, I plan to start within a month. Oh, okay, that makes sense. If you try to write the character to fit the story and you know them too much, they will fight you on what you write. You guys make it sound like your characters are coming to life. Which, I mean, okay, I guess that's not the most far-fetched form of magic I've heard of. I'm using Scrivener to do exactly what you said, move things around. All my scenes are individual files I can move about, but I have an issue with the fundamentals. Okay, interesting. I could explain, it would be a long talk, I don't want to derail. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That still sounds really cool, though. I would be somewhat interested to know, like, how that works as someone who has been trying to organize, like, not stories, but idea type stuff, and I've been doing things where I'm also trying to piece together around a bunch of ideas. So, I can imagine. I want to actually try, I'm thinking I might do a little bit of channel rearranging in the Discord, because, what I'm noticing is that, like, media and music and video and thing is kind of its own thing, and then writing is, like, a whole separate animal. So I might make a channel just for writing. It seems like we might get people who are writing more, but I might have a different way of doing that. I don't know. I have a lot that I'm sort of rearranging in my head and rearranging on paper and doing the exact same thing, cutting things up and pasting things around. We'll see, we'll see. Simplest thing to know is this. Plot isn't story. Story is how the plot affects characters. And if you get it mixed up, it doesn't work. Interesting. Plot isn't story. Story is how plot affects the characters. Okay, I think I understand that. If you get it mixed up, it doesn't work. Alright, I believe you. I believe you. Plot is the series of events that happens. Okay. Is story basically like the glue that holds it together, would you say? The character builds the plot's path, while a good character will go off the road they want to and make their own path. Okay. Story comes from how the people in the plot react, and the message that gives readers. Interesting. Interesting. I want to, like, understand more about that. It's just a little bit hard for me to do live, but it's really cool to hear about. Like I said, I'm not a writer, but I am fascinated with storytelling in its very base form. Like, you guys know that I like storytelling through the visual form, through illustration. So I can really appreciate a writer's point of view, even if it's not something that I do myself. If you got good characters, you can plot two in a random setting, they'll interact naturally. True. I'm not the kind to let my characters write themselves, but that doesn't make Ocarina wrong. Alrighty. So today, what I was thinking, to try to sort of switch things around and go back to doing stuff that's a little more fun, loosey-goosey, I thought it would be fun to do a stream on Pokemon evolution swapping. This idea actually comes in the stream suggestion channel from Dolphin. They sent it to me as a potential challenge we can do. So I do look at those stream suggestions. I do implement those stream suggestions sometimes. So this one comes from Dolphin. And it is basically you take a Pokemon's first evolutionary form and its last evolutionary form. And then you sort of swap them so that the last one has like a little bit of a baby look and the first one has like a big ferocious look, right? So we're gonna sort of play on that today, and you guys are going to get to suggest evolution lines that we will work on. So why don't we jump into our main scene over here? And I also learned how to make this look cleaner, which is nice. Although you guys might still have to remind me to hide things because I'm not great at that. It's visually hard to jump back and forth. But anyway, if you want to give me an evolutionary line, we're going to put it on the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel and then do a swap of whatever that is. Remember that it's going to be the first and the last. So if we do something like, let's say, the Charmander line, we would not have Charmeleon in it. It would be Charmander and Charizard. So keep that in mind when you're suggesting one of the lines. So if your favorite Pokemon is Pikachu and you say the Pikachu line, it would be Pichu and Raichu. Weedle and Beedrill, alright. That would be so hard because it's based on insect evolution, which is really different. Scyther family, alright, so... Okay, that would be Scyther and Scizor, I guess. I need a moment? Okay, no worries. We're gonna do a few rounds of this. Alright, I think I could play around with that. Cubone and Marowak, alright. Taka, thank you so much for resubscribing. I really appreciate it. Also, hello. Welcome in. How's everything been? I hope everything has been going well. Does Gengar have one? Yeah, Gengar and Ghastly. Because you got Ghastly, Gengar, Haunter. So that's a 3 evolution. It works very well. Doing okay? I'm glad to hear that. Yoshi and Birdo. Hello, John Awakens. Welcome in. How's everything going? I'm trying to think of Scyther and Scizor, because, like, don't they have... Isn't there, like, a new form for the Scyther family? Eevee? Eevee and Witch, though, we gotta go in some direction there. Magikarp? Alright. Magikarp and Gyarados. Gyarados. There we go. I am proud of myself that I can that I know the spelling for all these names. Cleavor, yeah, I think. I don't know much about the newest Pokemon. Like, I don't know much about Gen 9 or Paradox or Legends Arceus forms, Hisuian forms. I know Hisuian, Zoroark, but that's because I have a Fox bias. Let's say Eevee and Glaceon, alright. That's kind of weird, like, you lose your typing. But, alright, that should be good. So why don't we spin this and see where we go from here. And we are starting off with... Alright, Magikarp and Gyarados. That's probably a really good one to start with, honestly, because it's, like, very, very... It's a good standard, I guess I should say. So, alright, let's hide the name picker here, which I can't find. Come on. There you go. And I will grab a Magikarp and Gyarados picture that we can reference on screen here. Beautiful. Grab these. And we'll just size them down so we have a good canvas to work on. Yeah, so the Carp and the Dragon myth is actually, it's probably a really good one to go with. Okay, so Gyarados needs to look frail and weak, and Magikarp needs to look like a giant beast. Okay. So let's try... So Gyarados is gonna have to be, like, probably the rounder form of Magikarp. And it's gonna okay. I'll still give it, like, its scales here, but the, it's gonna be much smaller. It's gonna be like a rounded dragon, you know? And okay. There's two ways to do this challenge. One type that people have done is just, like, basically swapping Gyarados into Magikarp's body and vice versa. And the other is just making, like, a weaker version of Gyarados and a stronger version of Magikarp in, like, more design, openness. So why don't we try doing that? So I'm not going to entirely follow Magikarp's body, but I do think that the rounder form will look, you know, a little more pathetic, I guess we should say. I don't know a nicer way to say that, I'm sorry. And he's still got his silly little, like, giant open dragon mouth. This just looks like a piranha. Let me zoom in for you guys. There we go. Make sure everything is visibly on screen. It's just an angry piranha, basically. That's what I'm guessing is gonna happen here. Piranha Carp. I love how chunky he is. He's very chunky. Probably eat all the other... Alright, how are we gonna work with the eyes? Because they're very high on the head. Alright, I think this needs to be a little shorter? A little stumpier? And I think it needs to be... Okay. Let's try moving the head down a little bit. I'm having a bit of a bit of a struggle with the really large face. Oh, he's also got the fins. I don't want to forget the fins. Alright, he's got the sort of bony structure here. And then he's got his fins. And we can also take more artistic liberty with these. They don't have to be, like, 100% accurate, you know? But he's got, let's say, maybe 2 of these? Maybe 2 of his little back fin areas? Gyarados used struggle. It was not very effective. Alright. I'm gonna try making this crown area a little bit rounder. If someone makes Pokédex entries for these, I will use them. I'll turn this into, like, a short or something, and I'll use Pokédex entries if you guys want to write any. Small Gyarados has to be aggressive to live. Big Magikarp uses trickery to get food to hold still for eating. I will absolutely use any Pokédex descriptions that you guys write. And then he's got the little carp whiskers here. What would this be? Like a dragon that failed to climb the waterfall? Because that's what they're based on, right? Like the story for Magikarp and Gyarados is that it's a fish that swims up a waterfall to become a dragon. But if they continue being like this small and... You know what? Okay, I actually don't want to make that really long and impressive. It needs to just be, like, much smaller, I think. So how would that work? Like, did he fail? If he's still that tiny? This is what your level 1 Gyarados looks like when you cheat. When you use a Game Shark. Alright, I think that's pretty good for a dinky little piranha Gyarados. Shrimp vibes? Oh my gosh. Honestly, though. Alright, let's throw you off to the side. I feel like he's still a little too ferocious looking, but I think it'll work for now. I might try cleaning these up a little bit after as well. We'll see. I want to get both done and then kind of see where I want to go from there. And then he's got like the big dragon lips. Alright, ferocious Magikarp. How are we gonna do this? Rondos' Pokemon's born in harsh conditions and has to be aggressive non-stop in order to get a meal, otherwise it will starve as its siblings eat the limited food available. Magagon, when a Pteranodon evolves, it is able to escape its small home at the top of a waterfall and live in the more open waters where it can more casually find food, only to return to lay eggs before it dies. Oh my gosh, Ocarina, that's great. Oh my, okay, you know what we should do? Hang on a sec. I'm gonna make... Hang on. How do I do this? Yes, oh my gosh, okay. I'm making a, I'm making a thread in the Discord for people who want to submit Pokédex entries. I think this would be funny. For a video with credit. Just use the Pokemon's regular name for these. I'll just make that simpler. Although I do like Ocarina's ideas. I think that's good. Alright. Only if you guys want to. I just think it would be fun. I went more about the fish returning to where they were born to spawn versus going up the waterfall to turn to a dragon. Yeah, that's fair. What would the color look like? I think I would keep, like... I think Gyarados and Magikarp keep their original colorations. It's just sort of like... what form they are, if they're like the baby Pokemon or the tough one. So then, okay, Magikarp has to look like a terrifying beast. So you know what? Gyarados probably doesn't get the sharp teeth, and Magikarp probably does. Or no, if they have to survive, Now he has to be aggressive. And then Magikarp can be more carefree. But he still has to look fierce. Heck, I'm gonna give him both big teeth. All the big teeth. More big teeth. They're larger and sharper. This only works for a fish. This is so goofy. I feel like I don't have a good idea on, like, how this should work with a Magikarp. It's gonna be a lot larger, for sure. It's gonna be like one of those really terrifying looking eels. Do you know what I mean? Like the really scary eels with the really sharp teeth. I know that's a thing. Moray eel? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm usually pretty good with animal names, but I'm not able to think very well when I'm on stream sometimes. Alright, and the fins here should probably be, like, huge. Huge, I would say. Also, hello, Suno! Yes, Pichu was in the thumbnail. We are doing Pokemon evolution swaps. How's everything going? We're gonna make the fins a little sharper because, like, Magikarp has these really basic fins. Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, here's how we're gonna... I'm trying to sort of learn as I go, right? Like, Gyarados should have the simpler fins. Magikarp should have the more advanced fins. This is the first time I've ever done this. Right now. Live on stream. So you guys are gonna see me figuring out a bit of the trial and error of it. It's definitely gonna have, like, the typical scales will probably be a little bit more detailed. These can now be a lot fancier. Because we simplified them on Gyarados, right? The whiskers? The whiskers can be a lot fancier now. It could be better. I think I got food poisoning or something. Oof. I'm sorry about that. I hope you do feel better. That doesn't sound fun at all. I'm really sorry to hear that. Alright, and then this, I think we are going to... Alright, you know what? You lose a spike and you gain one. And I feel like I can actually go even bigger with this mouth. It kind of reminds me of the... You know what it reminds me of when I said eel? It reminds me of the eels in Mario, you know? The ones who, like, make your life terrible in the water levels. And there's usually some sort of chase level. That's what it reminds me of. Imagine this thing chasing you with the giant, sharp teeth. I don't like those levels to begin with, and this would be an even worse form of that. See 3 Magikarp fins at the beach, everyone runs. Now combine it with the piano from Super Mario 64. Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah. This is absolutely something that I feel like you'd find at, like, the bottom of the ocean. Only the most skilled trainers are able to even find where this thing lives. It plays its own theme music like the crocodile in Peter Pan. There you go. Look at this thing. I made it take up half the canvas. Alright, and it gets more, it's allowed more detail. So, Gyarados gets nerfed, and just gets, like, a little dinky tail. And then this thing gets all the detail. And the split fins and everything. Yeah, this is what we're going with. I'm still not happy with how I did Gyarados' face. Let me see if I can, like, try and quickly fix that. Because it doesn't feel like Gyarados yet. Something like that. I don't know. It just feels a little bit better being able to see the other eye. You know, okay, wait. This thing is gonna connect at the top on this fin because I don't think Gyarados should be the... No, I'll just... Yeah, I'll keep it like that. That's fine. It would eat the trainer, a mistake. It was like from birth still. A wild one, yes, maybe not a trade one. Yeah. Alright. We're gonna zoom out there. And we will quickly slap in some color on this. He's so big, he's taking up so much of the canvas. So what I might do on stream is I might, like, leave these really rough, and then off stream, at some point later, I'm in no rush to do this, I might do, like, cleaned up versions, and then, try to turn it into more of, like, an evergreen thing. Because I feel like the evergreen videos I always see have the very cleaned up pictures that sort of look like they're mimicking the Pokemon art style. So I might try doing something like that. Alright. And then let's get some color here. We'll base this really quick. Get our general idea down. I feel like that's kind of what I need to do in a lot of these cases. Like, whenever I'm doing, like, stream adopt designs or stream concept or any of these, like, role randomizations, I think streams are really good for getting the base idea down. And then the clean, polished stuff, I feel like I do better off stream. Why does Gyarados look tastier than Magikarp? I'm just basing these out in the same color for now, and then I'm going to switch over. Also, let me zoom in here. Make that a little bigger, so I'm not constantly way off the canvas. You mean having to entertain makes it harder to focus on minor details? I know, right? Who would think that? I would rather prioritize entertaining you guys on stream than making, like, a cleaner art piece, and then do the cleaner art piece outside of stream. I don't know, I feel like that kind of works better with how I want to be gearing this stream, because I want these streams to be fun, you know? I want them to feel, like, goofy and exciting and silly, and if rendering is taking away from that, then I don't know. It's already hard to make art streams engaging, so if I can push that more, then I think that that works better, in my opinion. But, you know, let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you personally prefer. Hello, Pinkware. Hello, Vinsa. Oh, lordy, what have I walked into? We're fishing. We are fishing. We are fishing into the, depths of the ocean. Why do I feel like this thing would live on, like, the Seafoam Islands or something? Have to pass a school of these to get to Lugia. Alright. Let's grab Magikarp's base color here. Yeah, it still retains all of the original Pokemon's coloration, which makes it that much goofier. I forgot it was Tuesday, I was eating a burger. Nah, all good. I'd still eat both of them. Godzilla, Fish Dragon, there you go. You could feed a village with these things. But I mean, yeah, it would be like trying to... The tone makes it so goofy, I'm not doing that. Or I guess okay. I have to in some form, because Gyarados also has it. How can I make that not look silly? I guess okay, the teeth being colored will help. This just makes it more terrifying. Oh, good lord. This is a beautiful, horrifying monster. I kind of want to know what it's like to have a fishing boat in the Pokemon universe. I mean, since there are fisherman trainers, it is a thing. Oh, you mean like a large fishing boat? I would imagine most of the Pokemon, you're probably at risk of being, like, capsized a lot. I'm actually surprised they don't have, like, not the Pokemon rescue team, but I'm surprised they don't have, like, I don't know, trainers who have to, like, keep other Pokemon at bay for people who live in different towns and such. Like, I'm surprised there's not, what's the equivalent in Tears of the Kingdom? Like a monster force? I'm surprised there's not one of those for Pokemon. Send an electrode to go into its mouth and explode it, then catch it while it's unconscious. What strategies could I use to optimize my hauls with my own Pokemon team? Well, dang, this is where the Scyther would come in, right? These two flipped around are much scarier than their normal forms. Magikarp looks like some deep-sea monster, and Gyarados reminds me of a piranha. Exactly. We were saying that earlier. We were like, Gyarados is absolutely just a really awful piranha with this. Like, they really are just a lot worse. How do we take Pokemon, and how do we make it worse? That is basically the challenge here. Can I fit the little bit of purple in his eye? Yeah, there we go. How do we take Pokemon and make it worse? Yeah, exactly. Scyther Sushi Chef. It would work so well. Like, oh, that would actually just be a cute illustration. Just a Scyther working in a sushi bar. I hate having so many ideas for, like, really cute one-off illustrations and then, like, never having the time to implement it. But yes, Sushi Bar Scyther, that would be a cute one. I love illustrations of Pokemon working with their trainers, like, outside of battle. Just doing chill things. They started doing that a lot on the trading cards, which makes me really happy. It's very wholesome. Not sure how wholesome this version would be, but still. Kabutops as a steak chef, yes. How do you make it worse? Put him in SpongeBob. No. Well, then this thing would be like the worm, right? We could spend points we save to force you to do ideas. My thing is, like, what I do with points is stuff that is always very, very quick. I haven't done any point reward type system where it's, like, a full thing, and, like, a Scyther Sushi Chef idea, I would want to nicely render and have something I could post, you know? But then I usually be spending that kind of time doing commissions, and no one's gonna commission me to draw Scyther Sushi Chef. I like some Pokemon being used as seeing eye dogs or humanoid ones cooking for their trainers, yeah. Yeah, Alaskan Bullworm, there you go. Alright, let me make sure to save this so that we don't lose anything here. Pokemon Evo Swap. There we go. We save enough to claim 30 minutes instead of 5 or 10. Maybe, you know, okay, maybe that's something that I will do with stream cards. What are those called again? Stream loots. I'm thinking of potentially integrating stream loots in the future, so that could be a good use for stream loots. I think this one turned out very cute. Of course you would say that, Kaku. You would absolutely say it's cute. Alright, alright. Actual! Out of 10 Yosh. I felt confident about that one. I feel like that one worked well. I felt good about that. Alright. Where are we doing? We are doing the name picker again. Alright. Here we go. Alright, yes, we got rid of the Gyarados and... Alright, sounds good. We shall spin the wheel, see where we're going next. We are drawing Eevee and Glaceon. Oh man. I was kind of worried that we'd get this because, like, what do you do with it? But okay, alright, we can do this. Let me... Oh. Alright, Eevee and Glaceon. We'll hide our name picker, and then we will jump to... Okay, I know what an Eevee looks like. I probably don't need a reference for Eevee, frankly. But I'll still put it on screen here to add context to anyone coming in. Because context is important. See if we can quickly get rid of that. Here we go. Not the cleanest, but it works. And Glaceon. I was gonna suggest Ghastly and Gengar, it's already on the wheel. Yeah, of course, because of Kaku, you know? Glaceon's so pretty. Glaceon's a cool Pokemon. I didn't, that wasn't an intentional pun, I swear. On YouTube side, can we pick them? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Deep sea fishermen, beware the looking into its eyes. They say the eyes will trap you, where you stand and cannot move. I mean, yeah, I could imagine that. Just saw the wheel thing? Yeah, absolutely. It's just open to anyone in chat at the time, so when we're jumping on the wheel, we can absolutely add more. I think the first pair turned out great. Sorry I'm quiet today. No worries, Ron. Stop clowning around like a Mr. Hey! Oh, I'm allowed to be a goofy little jester fox if I feel like it. Alright, that should be enough room for now, right? Alright, why don't we hide these guys? And then these two can have more of a spotlight. And then we'll just have to move things around after. It's fine, it'll work. But yeah, you absolutely can, suggest things on the YouTube side. And that's what I was actually saying with the Streamloots thing. Is, Streamloots is going to work on both the YouTube and the Twitch side. So YouTube members will be able, or, YouTube watchers will be able to use Streamloots and not have to worry about any point systems. And there's also going to be exclusive things that you cannot get with points. So that is hopefully a future endeavor. Chikorita line? Alright, let's write down a few more and then Chikorita to Meganium. So again, these will not go the other direction. They'll skip over the middle. So we're probably not going to do Jolteon because we're doing Glaceon. But if we were to do the Oddish line, it would be Oddish to Vileplume. Gloom would be excluded in it. Added a Pokedex in Discord. Amazing. Alright. Baby Glaceon. Baby Glaceon. Basically just a chibi Glaceon. I don't know how to simplify this anymore. The evolution line are already kind of perfect. I guess I'll just, yeah. It's just gonna be really chibi, I suppose. Maybe it'll just have, like, one little forehead piece. And the eyes will be rounder. This is gonna look even more chibi than a typical Eevee would. And it'll have, like, you know, it'll still have its little, side tassels, because that's really iconic to its design. I love drawing cute tiny animals. It's an ice cube, yeah. Oh, you didn't mean Chikorita for the... Oh. I'm a dork. as a wheel redeem. The Chikorita is really cute too. Chikorita is just a cute Pokemon in general. Alright, you need a little bit more of a... I'm struggling to draw the back legs. Oh, alright, it's fine. Alright, and then... I feel like it should have, like, something on its neck, but I don't think that works for a Glaceon, so I'm probably gonna leave it off, but it feels a little strange. And then it's gonna have, like, a little tail. Small little tassel tail here. Which is good, because this kind of mirrors back to the forehead piece, so it works. And then these, I'm going to actually leave without a pattern, because I think that just the pattern repeating once makes more sense for a simpler design, for a basic evolution. We'll still do the inside of the ears. And I think that works for, like, a little pre-evolution baby Glaceon. And then Eevee... how are we gonna make... Okay. Eevee is going to have to look like... If we're basing it on Glaceon, Glaceon's thing is that they're very slick, right? So Eevee is gonna have to be a lot taller. And this is gonna have to feel... The chest fur is gonna have to feel more like a royal lion's mane, I think. The head is going to be a little more formed. So it's not gonna look as chibi. It's still, you know, it's still a pretty short muzzle, but... Still probably less so. I'm gonna make you a little bit smaller. And actually see what we're doing here. And bring these two up. There we go. Now we have a little bit more room to work with. And I feel weird that it's like losing its typing and now it's just a normal type. I guess this would be like... okay, my explanation would be that it's like, it evolves by leaving its Arctic habitat, right? It has no use to needing anything that requires, ice manipulation. So it probably lives in either a warmer climate or at least like a more temperate climate. Why do I feel like this would be a show dog? It's still gonna have its really, like, delicate feet. And maybe it takes on Glaceon's feet patterns. Maybe it has the fur pattern, but not the ice typing. So this would be like maybe a white. It might still have like a back pattern. And the tail is gonna be much more like, almost like an Arcanine tail. And it'll still have that diamond shape here. Like I said, I've never done this, guys. I am doing this, like, wholly improv. And then this can have, like, a more stern eye, right? Kind of like Glaceon. And I feel like we'll combine this and the fur tuft and have something that's more like almost Flareon feeling, ironically. But it would still be made of a fur. Do you think any part of it should have any blue on it? I'm debating on that. What do you guys think? Should I leave it just to Eevee's color, or should I have a tiny hint of what used to be an ice typing? I feel like we can go a lot bigger on this mane. This thing is regal. It needs to feel regal. Dang it. Give it a second tail? Why would I give it a second tail? They don't- neither of them have multiple tails. Dealer's choice, to be honest. I don't know, like, I'm debating on giving it some blue. Alright, let's try it. Let's just test out both, we'll see what we like. Blue and brown is actually a really good color combo because, blue and orange are opposites, and brown is just a darker version of orange, so they play off together really well, actually. Frost tips? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Alright, let's play around with it. So this is all on one layer, right? Alright, cool. We'll grab a base blue here, just to get all the flats down. As a side note, the heart on chat on YouTube side, I wish they moved to somewhere else. I can't see what people type over there. Oh, I don't have a way of seeing that. Shoot, I forgot that that was a feature. I'm so sorry. If anyone has been doing that, I greatly appreciate it. I wish I could see everything at all time perfectly. Sadly, we do not have the technology as much as I would like it. Glaceon looks cute derp and Eevee looks majestic. I feel like I made Eevee more majestic than a typical Glaceon, but that's okay. Blue eyes? Ooh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, that's a really nice subtle nod, too. I think I might try the blue eyes and the frosted tipped feet. We'll see how that works. Because, like, Eevee does have more cream color design. And then the big, floofy Arcanine-like tail. And I just need, like, you know, a minute or two to base out the color real quick. It evolves into Eevee when the ice all melts away. Oh my gosh! I love it. You guys are really good with the Pokédex ideas. Alright, let's do Glaceons first, because that one's easier. For a second, I forgot what I was doing with it. Alright, let's give it its little ice cube head. Little inner ears. These are just kind of gonna be separate, in a way. They're kind of like, it's funny, right? Because, like, these are lawn elegant tassels, and then this just looks like droopy puppy ears. Which I really like. I love them. They're so precious. I'm also adding a little bit of shading because the shading makes the other colors pop out nicer. Still thinking of how to get a ghost type Eevee without using Rockstone. Oh my gosh, Armadox, jeez. Eevee eggs become different eons based on the environment the egg was hatched. After evolving, has hints of their baby form in them. Ooh, I like this. I definitely feel like this Eevee would be like a show dog. And, like, different show dog Eevees would hail from different regions, and they would have, like, different hints of their region in them, and then, like, I don't know, maybe a higher class show dog has like less of the traits, like maybe an Eevee who doesn't have any of the ice coloring left or something? But most Eevee typically have some hint of their previous regional temperature. Its heart was frozen and the trainer's love warmed the frozen heart. Oh my gosh, John, you're gonna kill me here. So it probably would have, like, the... I feel like I'm going into, like, how different biological traits work or something. And then this would be like a fur tuft on the top here. This feels like someone's EVOC, not gonna lie. This feels like something I would see on DeviantArt. This still has the pattern. And then maybe the feet sort of have like a little bit of that. Yeah, I think I like the deeper blue because it's a little more obvious, whereas otherwise it's sort of... No, I guess that makes more sense with the evolution. What if these were all the more blue-white? How would that work? Would that work well? We're kind of breaking the rules for this one, aren't we? This is sort of like a halfway, isn't it? This is like more of a halfway form? I don't, there's something I still kind of like about that, though. It's your rules, so breaking them is fine. Sylveons are more rare as it requires trainers to love the eggs so much and human body heat. I mean, that's how most eggs hatch, right? Like running around with the egg, warming it up, or using a Talonflame. With all the different babies, I'd see the halfway forms working. Ooh, true. Oh, they'd have like little... Oh my gosh, they would have like little different fur patterns in a batch of eggs, like a kind of like a Spinda. All right, I'm breaking the rules. I like these fluffs sort of calling back to Glaceon a little. And then maybe this one on the back could be brown, or does that not really make sense? No, Let me try this. That would be like more of an Eevee, and that would be more with Glaceon's traits. I feel this works a little bit better for the challenge, even if I am biased towards the other colored version. Yeah, I think this works. And then look, it's like, you know, these individual pieces, this like, you know, the two puppy ears and the crystals sort of like flip backwards, and then they become like the higher tufts that are in 3 pieces, sort of like how Glaceon's is, right? I love this. I'm way too happy with how these work. Alright, let's get a little bit of shadow on here, because shadow just makes things feel nice and finished. And we'll grab this. So cute, so refined. This is a very elegant Eevee that hails from the icy regions of Sinnoh. I'd love to just get a job designing Fakemon. That'd be great. Yeah, that works. Alright. Throw these into a folder. Save. Make sure we don't lose these little guys. Alright, and we'll go back to our... Where are we? Name picker. And then, we are going to add one more if anyone has any last names, and then we're gonna call it. So then going forward, it's just gonna be a matter of, whatever's already on the board. Want to see the Pichu Raichu swap? Alright, I will write that down as a potential. You can for fun if you want someday to do a whole Eevee evolve from the kids instead of Eevees evolve into all the things you see once they aren't kids. So, like, doing this, but for every evolution, do you mean? Wouldn't that be a lot of really similar looking Eevees, though? They'd all sort of still have a base color of brown, wouldn't they? Or I would just draw a bunch of chibi baby forms of all the evolutions. I'd be cool with that, too. Ditto to Mew? That one's not canon, though. Just have a Mew that's a blob with little cat ears sticking out. I was wondering if the Oddish flip would work, but who would you use? It would be Oddish to Vileplume, if we did that. And take to a father! That's not... You're killing me here! Someday! Oh my gosh, someday you are going to see that. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I guess it would be Blossom, depending on, which direction you go. Rattata to Eradicate? Alright. Eradicate. I never know how to spell, Rattata. I think it's, like... I think it's like that. Me in my unevolved form. I guess that would just be my anthro form, wouldn't it? Look to Grimer, another fave, but that'd be pointless. Yeah, that'll be a little off. Alright, I think we're gonna call it here. We're gonna just use these ones, so let's see. We've got... Alright. I hope I've been thinking about the thumbnail. Let me grab the reference. I feel like I should just grab the thumbnail at this point, but oh well. We'll grab Pichu and Raichu. And I'm sorry, Pikachu, you are out. So let me go back and grab this picture I had earlier that I can no longer obtain. Come on. Make my life easy, please. No, of course not. Alright. And Pichu. Come on here. There we go. Alright. Do I have a better one? That doesn't have such annoying... Such annoying background. Alright. Can we do this? Nah. Fine. Be annoying about it. See what I care. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to be like this. There. Alrighty. Set this up here. There we go. Be annoying about it, see what I care. You don't have to be like this. Why do I feel like you were talking to me? You know I wasn't. Picturing Pikachu get kicked out of the club like a knight of the roster. Pikachu is not welcome here. This is 3rd and 1st only. Alright, so, okay, Raichu has to be baby, Pichu has to be tough. I'm basically just gonna be drawing Suno at the end here. But alright, baby Raichu. So obviously the ears have to be very simplified because at least he's like big and pudgy. That already gives him like a good bean baby shape. And the ears are gonna have to be simplified a lot, I think. So something like this maybe? Like not as much of that curl that it usually has. Maybe a little bit of a curl, but not nearly as much. Actually, We'll leave it like midway. Jojo Pichu. Alright. And of course, everyone can have the cheek pouches. That's not really special to anyone else. Actually, yeah, you get a simplified mouth now. You get a little Pichu mouth. It's gonna have to be a little further away, just so it doesn't cut into the eye as much. There we go. And the eyes are gonna have to be a lot bigger. And then still gonna have to have, like, the giant feet, but they're gonna be, like... They're gonna be much closer to the rest of the body. So it's gonna be, like... large rabbit feet, basically. And the tail is gonna be very thin and very rounded. I'm still trying to retain the lightning bolt shape. Did I do it backwards? Hang on. How did I mess this up? I did do it backwards, okay. It's kind of hard when it's flipped the other direction. And it's gonna have to be, like, really... It's gonna have to be a lot closer to the body, I think. Because Raichu's much longer tail is more indicative of it being, like, more elegant, more... The more there's pieces of the Pokemon structure that are sort of going away from the body, generally, the more strong it is, because of baby form, everything's gonna be, like, very rounded and close together. Right? So making this a lot shorter is gonna give more of a baby form to a Raichu. And a lot rounder, too. It's like a little lightning rattle. There we go. And I think it can have its little chest color. And I want these feet to even be closer to the body. And maybe a little bit larger. Maybe not larger, maybe just closer. Maybe Raichu sort of loses how large the feet are. I'm trying to not make its face melt like a cartoon popsicle, but bear with me here. Alright. I think something like that is good. Just very, very pudgy, very childlike. Didn't Hercules have a lightning rattle in the Disney movie? Maybe. I'm trying to remember now. Added Raichu and Pichu Pokedex in the Discord. Dang, you're fast. That's what you could be doing. You could be taking Pokedex commissions. Also, just to reiterate for anyone who is joining in earlier, anyone is allowed to submit Pokedex entries for these guys. I just made a thread in the Discord during stream for it. If you're not in the Discord yet, definitely consider joining the Discord. It's a very fun, goofy environment. It's a really great way to get stream notifications, and there will be a lot of future Discord uses as well, so stay tuned for that. A lot more things happening in the Discord. And as always, if you guys ever have any suggestions, I'm more than open to them. Alright, we've got our fat little pudgy Raichu that I now want a stuffed animal of. Now let's make our kind of very intimidating Pichu. Yeah, future Discord things. I'm not gonna say much on that yet. Although I did mention earlier in the stream that I am considering potentially giving the writing channel its own channel and sort of having like a media channel that is more separated. But I don't know, I'm still sort of figuring out how that would work. Trying to not make it look like its cheek pattern is falling. Alright. Now we have the epic medieval battle music for Suno and Pichu. So, of course, it's going to be a much longer body to start off with. Much more in proportion, less rounded. Tail's going to have to be a lot longer. And potentially wrapping around in the same way Raichu's does. And actually, you know, okay, let's give it like a fighting stance. Let's give it like a... Let's give it like an intimidating fighting stance here. And I'm giving it the same pose as Raichu, because I think it works well. But Pichu's just gonna be a little bit more intense. This thing pounces on you in the forest. What the heck do you do? Just let it happen. What do? Give it your lunch money and hope it leaves? Alright, I'll keep that the same here, and then color them both later. Also, this patterning works a lot better for multi-evolution. Like, I don't understand why this just disappeared. This part that I forgot last time. It makes a lot more sense for something that has, like, a multi-evolutionary form, right? I feel like the reason this works so well is because I feel like Raichu was like... It feels more like a baby Pokemon, right? Like, Pichu has thumbs, Raichu doesn't. Raichu has nubs. I'm not even, like, changing anything about the design. Pichu has this, like, more intimidating marking. Raichu has a big soft belly. Like, this kind of just naturally works better for some reason. I'm gonna make this arm more intimidating. I feel like this would be, like, the Pokemon that little kid trainers would see in the Viridian Forest that they'd be, like, too scared of and knowing that they aren't good against yet. But, like, experienced trainers or older kids would be able to take them on and impress the younger ones. Oh, okay, wait. If I... No, I gotta keep the color the same. Okay, that's fine. And then the shape of this tail looks, honestly, a lot more intimidating. It kind of looks like an axe. Like, we may be simplifying the spikes, but it feels a lot sharper. I feel like this tail would move really fast, and it would sort of feel like a jolt of lightning if it was to hit you, you know? Like, Tail Whip would actually do something! Be like the only Pokemon that actually has a good Tail Whip. Do I want it like... Yeah, that works better. Now it feels a little bit more fast, agile. There's a bit of a stronger angle coming from it. I might shift that a little bit. So it's not, like, entirely... Yeah, that's good. And then I imagine that the base of the tail would be about, like, here or so. So then the tail sort of has this almost S curve. If this thing lived in the forest, it probably could, like, chop down trees with this tail. You know, like, the tail feels sharper, the ears feel sharper. I think this works really well. I honestly feel like this makes more sense. The other ones, I think we were sort of pushing. This just sort of... This feels natural. Alrighty. Let's get some color on these guys. I'm just using a base color that I can see at the moment. There we go. Natural is boring, we must become Darkenstein? What? I don't know your reference. I'm sorry. Alright, I think we're gonna do one more after this one. When I imagined the swap for some reason, I imagined, Raichu wrapping its long tail around its body like a spool of electrical wire around the well spool. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that could also work. Like, I feel like it could be used as, like, an axe, and the tail is... Because the tail's black, it also does sort of have that electrical cord vibe. Like, there's a lot you could do with this. Game Freak, hire me to make your weird paradox Pokemon. I'm honestly really amazed how many people make really, really good Fakemon, and I just feel like they should genuinely be hired by Game Freak. Like, some people are insane. I think there's only, like, one English, artist that has been put onto Pokemon, and they created, Vanillish and Trubbish, and I think, Gothorita. Like, that's what we've had. Alright, let's get some color on these guys. I have to make sure that I'm going the opposite direction here. Let me make the base color first, just so I have something easier to go on. I want this Pichu to be real now. Reminds me a little of Gorochu. Oh my goodness, yeah. Why do all the intro songs sound like My Hero? I'm not sure. I have a lot of songs that are just sort of meant to be like, basic JRPG type stuff, so that's probably why. It looks even sillier with color. Someone did a fan animation of Bob's Burger using audio clips from that show in Archer and got hired to work on Bob's Burgers. Yeah, you never know. I would totally trust you to make official Pokemon over whoever made the mac and cheese guy. We don't talk about the mac and cheese Pokemon. Oh no. Oh, Starkenstein. I was reading that as Sharkenstein. I see, I see. Chibi Raichu plushie. Right, like who wouldn't want that, you know? And then it's got like a little bit of gradient on it, on the paws and on the feet, I guess. I guess we can keep that. It's fine. We don't know how this evolution loss of patterning happens, but... Or no, I guess... Nah, I think it would be simplified. I don't think it would have it. Maybe he would, though. Maybe you get the... Maybe you get the gradient. Because it's like charred black, it kind of looks like, you know, you have too much electric discharge, and it's sort of like the, like if you were hit with lightning, right? It would turn black. So it's like, you know, you had to gain control of your electricity power and might have charred your hands into like a burnt charcoal color in the process. I think there's another Pokemon that has that thing where it's like there's a marking on them that's sort of like based on how they had to learn their powers in a previous evolutionary form. I don't remember what it was though. There we go. Small burning on its fur from, like, Thunder Punch and Thunder Kick. Yeah, exactly! You get exactly what I'm saying. I think that works really well. What kind of abomination are we looking at? This is the least amount of abomination we have had today, by far. This is, like, the most wholesome, accurate, beautiful, well thought out concept that we have had today. Because anything is less of an abomination than Piranha Gyarados. Alright, let's get these thrown into a folder. Suno, this is now your Pichu to ride into battle. This thing, yeah, I could picture this being Suno's Pokemon, couldn't you guys? The Elemental Punch is why Hitmonchan wears gloves. Oh, yeah, that's it. I think that was actually the one I was thinking of, so thank you. Imagine a Steel-type draft Pokemon, its neck is a tight spring, and a special exclusive attack is a spring-loaded headbutt or something that smashes into the enemy. It's like a Spoink, but it doesn't destroy itself by not bouncing. The Pokemon would be taller than me? It would, but it would be like... This would be like Suno rides this thing into battle. And then Suno is like Raichu-sized. Suno has unlocked a war mount. Exactly. I'm proud of this Pichu. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this Pichu. Alright. One more. On the wheel. Where is the wheel? I lost the wheel. There's the wheel. Wah. Alright, one more to go. We are going with Chikorita to Meganium. Alrighty. Chikorita to Meganium. That's gonna be a tricky one. But we will try it. I'm really not sure how I'm gonna handle that. Alright. Let me grab a ref. I really love Meganium, honestly. I'm gonna grab this because it's easy, and then just sort of throw out Bayleaf. I'm sorry, Bayleaf, I love you, but you're not part of our project today. We'll paste this in here. And sort of get rid of all the excess little doodads. Yeah, this one's definitely gonna be tricky. I mean, okay, I guess I can see it working. Oh, what ails you with this empty space? Go away. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna need to make this a little bit smaller, probably, because Chikorita is probably gonna take up more room. This one's definitely gonna be a challenge. We got this, though. We can do this. Chikorita is my fave, but Gen 2 gyms really make it stink to use on your team. It does, though. I know, but yeah, I know, but Chikorita is still adorable. Chikorita because Chikorita. Okay, fine. I can't do that one as well. All right. I'm trying to think how this works. Okay. I think I don't know why, I feel like it's easier for me to go from, like, big Pokemon to tiny version, and then tiny version to big, instead of, like, tiny first and then big. I don't know, I feel like simplifying the big one first is easier. So let's simplify the big one first. Let's make a little baby Meganium. A starter Pokemon Meganium. Again, this is gonna rely on big head shapes and big rounded body. And I feel like it would have less detailed petals. And I think it makes sense that we sort of have like these pollen tips here as like the headpiece, and then this evolves into like a big leaf. I think we can make that work. Let's bring that together so it's like one smaller piece. So almost like, yeah, it's sort of like a caterpie shape in a way. And then they kind of have the same eyes, so I don't have to do too much there. Then we'll do enough to still make it look like, you know, separate pieces. Or not separate pieces, making this part larger and this part skinnier, I mean. And I still think that connecting that will make more sense. So we'll make that a little bit more like a V shape. Something like that. I always get it from island scans and Pokemon Sun for my team. I think Sun and Moon were like the last Pokemon games I played, oddly enough. Like, I really love the Pokemon franchise. I'm just not as in love with their games as of recent. Not be the rapper. Alright. Because it is a dinosaur, I think we can still make the head a little bit longer. Doesn't have to be like super scrunched in here. I'm trying to not make it look too much like a bug before we get the feet on here. There we go. And then the feet are basically just going to be the petite Chikorita feet, basically. Like, Chikorita and Meganium are basically going to swap feet. And I need to make the flower not look so droopy. Needs to still feel more alive. Yeah, I want Meganium to have the small toe, and Chikorita can have, like, the 3 claws. The neck placement, it does make it a little bit tricky. And then for these pieces, we'll probably just make it like simplified. Right? So we'll make it maybe like almost seed looking. And then this can just be a straight line instead of the super flowy pieces here. And then it's like the flower is like a little bit less active, and it's more like a frilled lizard type thing, you know? Not as, springing out, just sort of laying against the neck. Canal, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. We are currently working on, Pokemon swap designs today. Do something like that. I'll leave it. That's probably easier to paint later. Okay, flowers at an angle are just notoriously hard to paint in any sort of situation. I don't do well with flowers at these strange angles. I mean, I don't think this artist does either, because they made it, like, flat in your face. Alright, and then Chikorita is gonna have to be a lot longer. Make this a little bit smaller again, so that we can fit Chikorita. Flowers are hard, honestly. I'm a red, blue, yellow guy, so couldn't tell you my opinions on it. I stopped playing Pokemon with Sun because I bought a PC instead of a Switch. That's fair. I am still holding out for Legends Johto. That is what would bring me back to the franchise. I have an immense bias towards Johto. I still maintain the opinion that Heart Gold and Soul Silver were the best mainline games. And I want this leaf to be, like... It's probably gonna have to have, like, some sort of detail on the leaf to make it look more interesting. Which kind of just makes it a bay leaf in a way. I'm trying to see if I can get away from bay leaf. And you get the Meganium feet. So we're going more detailed on the claws here. More detailed on the body. Spikes can be a little bit larger. Don't really know how the flowers turn into spikes, but... because the spikes are supposed to be seeds that sort of open up. So we're doing something that's a little backwards in a way, but... maybe it could be, like, sharp. Ooh, you know what we could do? What if the flower petals sort of curl individually, and they kind of create, like, a point, you know? Like, okay, imagine this. The flower petals on the front are pink, and on the back, they are green. So then when the flower petal sort of curls in and folds up, and then gets, like, tighter, then it creates sort of a sharper point, and then that's how you get the spikes. See, I wanna try to have reasoning for everything if I can help it, because I think that makes it a lot more interesting, is you can kind of explain where your idea came from. So now the curled up flower is what gives us the original tiny spikes around its neck. I don't know, I think that's pretty clever. And now we have the spiky trait of Chikorita. Thorns that grew from small thorns. I mean, we have to do something with the flower element, right? Something in the flower just sort of is like sharp pointed if you were to twist it up. I'm not sure what to do about the leaf on its head, though, and it's kind of a basic factor, too. Oh, maybe these pieces somehow are, like, coming together? Make it like a sword or a battle axe. Okay, if there's, like, a way that I can bring those two pieces in. Maybe the leaf changes into, like, some sort of... How are these coming in together? I guess just the split is like the two pieces stuck together instead of like the fold of a typical leaf. And then it would also probably be very sharp in the end. And then razor leaf actually does more. And then this piece is like kind of two pieces that are like fused together almost. Venus flytrap leaf? See if there's a way I could sort of allude to that. If we had like a... something like this maybe, that could work. Like very subtle. I'm getting Mawile vibes now, but that's alright. Alright, I think that could still feel like Chikorita. I mean, it does give me Bayleaf vibes, but there's not really any way for it to not with how this evolutionary line goes. But I think it could work. And let's make the neck a little bit longer so it looks like not like a second form evolution, right? Make everything here a little bit smaller so we have a little bit more room. Give you a little bit more of a Meganium neck. There we go. But yeah, I'm definitely liking the twisted flower idea. And then let's grab a base color. It could be like, you know, the children, the Meganium babies are like more colorful. And then as they become adults, they sort of need to hide away the color from predators, and the color sort of twists itself into protective spikes. So, like, they can have the color so that, like, they're more, like, the parents will take care of them, right? Like, they're easier to spot, they're easier to take care of, but then as they get older, they sort of need to hide away that color and then use it as a protective measure. And we'll get this flat color on here and then change it to that vibrant flower. And then we can even, like, bring back a tiny hint of that pink here, right? With the Venus flytrap teeth. This even makes more sense because, like, the older Pokemon is less vibrantly colored overall if we're taking Chikorita's colors, right? I love how there's a lot of these Pokemon that you can kind of like write it to make sense. Like more sense than the original. In some cases. Especially with like Pichu and Raichu. I still think that we did a better job with that. It just made more sense to me. I don't know. I felt like there was more logic in that design. Going the other direction. Nothing against Raichu. I love Raichu. I'm just saying. And look at this, it's like a little flower bib. And we got like the little baby pollen head here. And like the flower color when it grows up is like still is reflected in its eyes. It works. It works. All right, maybe I do sound like a Frankenstein now. This totally works better. You can't tell me it doesn't. It makes so much sense from a lore perspective. Look at this, it's like a protective, motherly Chikorita protecting her little baby Meganium. This is like my headcanon now. It looks like a bib and everything, you know? I was thinking this was gonna be like one of the hardest ones. Now I feel like it's one of the easiest ones. Now I can just totally see it as working out. No, all good, Vessa. I was saying that I feel like this works really well. I feel like that this makes more sense to me than canon now, because, like, little baby Meganium has a little baby flower bib, and then as it grows, the flowers, like, twist in and become spikes, and now we've got, like, a mother Chikorita protecting a little baby Meganium. And it works! It works so well! This is like how I picture it now. I love them so much. That kind of Pokemon are you eating? I get the Magikarp thing, but... The Land Before Time Pokemon Edition. The flower can, like, curl. I feel like I'm not, like, the little flower petal here, right? Like, imagine it's green on the underside. Like, the flower petal can sort of curl up and then become the spiky part on the neck. Like, if you imagine that, like, it's normally pink, and then it's like green when it's folded, and then it like fully folds tightly because the flower is too attractive to predators, but it helps the parent Pokemon able to see where the kid is. So then as it gets older, it like... It's able to turn into spikes. It goes from like the flower and sort of changes form, you know? And then it can be used to protect the younger ones. It's like a little flag on a kid's bike. No, I didn't put a lot of thought into this. I was just like coming up with it as we went, but now it works really well. And now I sort of just see it as making more sense in canon. Because, like, I mean, like, the adult color is, like, duller, and the kid color is more vibrant. It just really works really well, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm sorry. That one just excited me. Alright, let's throw this into a folder. Save that. And then we'll see what insanity we've created today. I'm gonna duplicate all these so they don't lose all of their, I'm gonna make backups here. Hang on. Back up. So that by making it larger and smaller, I'm not ruining everything. Now they all fight like true Pokemon. Alright, so we've got our Meganium line, which is probably now my personal favorite. Then we've got our Pichu Raichu line, which is Suno's favorite. I'm gonna run out of room here. Alright, something like... trying to fit it nicely. And then we've got our Eevee Glaceon line, which I think worked really well. Especially with how we sort of came up with the story idea. And then we've got our Abomination, our Piranha Gyarados line. That's the real abomination of this whole thing. You need to be a little closer. Scooch in there. Look at these beautiful children. I think Glaceon is the cutest of them. I'd have to agree. Glaceon's pretty cute. And it's got puppy ears now. It's got little floppy puppy ears. This was fun. This was fun to play around with. I enjoyed coming up with these wacky ideas. I'm not hearing anything against the beautiful Piranidos. It's beautiful. I'm happy with this. This was fun. Oh, and if you're wondering why the Eevee has like Glaceon colors is that we were thinking that there would be a concept where there'd be like show dogs and there'd be like variations in fur patterns depending on how much of the elemental state they were in sort of wore off over time. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I think we are probably going to call it there today, but I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys and coming up with these crazy ideas. If you want to join the Discord, then we have a thread right now in the general chat. If you would like to contribute a Pokédex entry, it may be used in a future YouTube video. I'm gonna sort of go through and see what works. I might grab some of it. You will be credited in the video if it ends up being used. And yeah, I think... not really sure what we're gonna be doing for Saturday, but I will come up with something fun for you all. But thank you again for joining me today. I think it was a lot of fun. I always like getting to do little silly Pokemon challenges. It's a great time with you guys. And as always, if you have any suggestions for future streams, this was a suggestion by the Vtuber Dolphin. This is something that they had suggested as a potential future stream. So stream suggestions do get taken into consideration. Definitely consider contributing an idea if you would like. Alright, with that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the worlds beyond. And thank you so much, Stargazers. All the best.